Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Tuesday, which means another Masternode Shootout update video. This is for week 46. And apologies for my slightly croaky voice. Hopefully we'll get through this without a big coughing fit or anything like that. But I'm a little bit under the weather at the moment, so apologies for that. And as always, before we jump into the figures, just to bring you up to date with any changes. And the good news is this last week, no issues with any of the Masternodes. Everything's gone pretty smoothly. We only received 4 payouts for Metrix, just the way that the Masternode payouts kind of fell before and after the end of this last week. But apart from that, nothing really to report. So let's jump straight in and have a look at the figures. Starting with Vulcano, 802 Vulcano worth 73 cents, 51 Bulwark worth 96 cents, 316 Helix worth 97 cents, 12,800 Metrix worth $2.20, 326 Smartcash worth 96 cents, and finally nothing for Syndicate. Amazing how close some of these rewards are. So you've got Bulwark, Helix and Smartcash all within 1 cent of each other. And when you consider the difference in prices of these Masternodes, so Bulwark $956, Helix $31 and Smartcash $1,360 at the beginning of the year. Really interesting to see the difference in kind of payouts that are coming through. So a grand total this week of $5.82. If we jump over to the graph, you can see we're basically in this kind of like low kind of trend. It does seem to be kind of trending upwards ever so slightly. If we'd had that extra payout from Metrix, which we normally would have got, that sort of 5th payout, would have maybe continued this sort of trend of slightly kind of higher, but we're trapped in this very, very low range at the moment. That's just down to the price of the coins, really. So looking at what's done pretty well, Helix, it's down a little bit. It was up over 100% last week, so the price has retraced a little bit, but still up 75% basically so far this year. Still in number 1 position. Metrix still in 2nd position, but it is in negative territory, almost 30% down now year to date. So still in 2nd. Those two have been 1 and 2 in these kind of positions probably for a month or so now. Vulcano maintains its position in number 3, quite close to Metrix still, only 5% separating those. And then we've got a little bit of change for the last 3 coins, so they're all doing pretty appallingly. But Syndicate has jumped up to 4th position, down 69.61%, and then look at Smartcash and Bulwark. Smartcash in 5th, down 71.14%, and Bulwark down 71.79%. So Bulwark and Smartcash are within 1% of each other, and only a couple of percent away from Syndicate. So Bulwark is still in last position, but very, very close now to Smartcash and very close to Syndicate. And when you look at the problems that Bulwark had, basically its whole team walking out at the beginning of the year before it was taken back over by the community, and then losing Cryptopia, which was really the only large or sort of decent kind of exchange that it was kind of on at the time. And then we've got Smartcash, which, you know, has not had any of those kind of issues, but has dropped an equal amount in price. It just shows quite how poorly Smartcash has performed this year. And then with Syndicate, you know, has basically kind of collapsed as a kind of coin. They've had all sorts of chain issues. I think they've been resolved now, but that was when basically a Masternode went down, the chain split. There were no seeds, nobody could get back on the right chain. The 1 or 2 kind of like devs that are kind of still there, it took them weeks to get a decent set of seeds and a sort of fresh snapshot of the kind of blockchain back up. That's why our Masternode went down there. But really interesting to see. So you've got like 3 coins, very different situation. Bulwark with all that kind of public kind of issues at the beginning of the year. Syndicate then sort of like gradually kind of falling apart throughout the year, and then Smartcash without any of those kind of like upfront kind of issues, but performing just as badly. And I'm still receiving the sort of like the marketing emails from Smartcash on a weekly basis. They're all always kind of promoting how, you know, what they're doing and stuff like that. It's got a big community, it's got quite a big kind of team behind it. They've got all these different kind of stuff that they're doing, but really makes no difference when it comes to the price. The market does not like Smartcash at all. There's a big flood of coins onto the kind of market each month, which always creates a bit of selling pressure, and you know, it's just done really, really poorly. It's also quite a low paying coin in terms of Masternode returns, only 8%. So at the beginning of the year, Smartcash, you only needed 10,000 for a Masternode, but basically you got to kind of a situation where it's costing far more money to actually run the Masternode than you were getting back. So they increased the collateral to 100,000. And that really hasn't stopped the rod at all. So $1,360 it was worth the 1st of January. The value today is just under $300, so it's lost over $1,000 so far this year. We're into the middle of November now, so almost the full year. But yeah, massively down in terms of the actual kind of price of the coin. And because it's quite a low payout, only 8% so far this year, the rewards that we've got back have in no way kind of like made up for those. So with some of the other kind of coins, even Helix here is down a little bit on the actual Masternode value, not a huge amount, from $31 to sort of $28, but very large percentage returns, 85% already this year, which is more than made up for that small loss. And then with some of the other coins, stuff like Vulcano, it's dropped, look at that, over 75%, but 45.6% percentage returns, which helps to offset some of those kind of losses in kind of price. The argument obviously on the other side of that is the higher the inflation, the more pressure there is on the price. But that just does not seem to be the case with a lot of these small coins. I think people are getting in for hopefully what they're thinking are kind of quick profits. Smartcash is a tiny coin. Doesn't matter which way you kind of dress it up. All of these are quite low cap kind of coins. And if you're only giving 8%, or 10% might be by the end of the year, returns for running a Masternode, all the hassles of kind of running a Masternode, people are just not that interested unless the price can kind of like maintain or kind of grow, or, hold its own. And we've seen with Smartcash, really hasn't happened at all. With some of these smaller coins, they're far more of a punt. So Helix, as you say, 85% return, 46% almost for Vulcano, even Syndicate, 30%. So Metrix 35% as well. So far higher kind of payout. So it only takes 1 year on a nice kind of pump kind of in price due to a kind of bull market or something like that, and you've made some decent kind of profits. With Smartcash, you've got neither the Masternode kind of payouts being a decent amount, or the fact that it's large enough to kind of like maintain its price. So it's the worst of both worlds. I don't want to be kind of like completely negative, but it really amazes me that when you have all the outward kind of like issues that Bulwark and Syndicate have had, and then with Smartcash, none of those kind of outward issues, but it's still performing as badly. It really does say something about the coin. Probably, I would say, one of my worst investments this year in terms of these Masternodes. But congratulations to Helix, still doing well, still well into positive territory. Metrix has dropped back quite a little bit in the last kind of couple of months, had a nice pump up and was competing for that #1 position. It was #1 for quite a few weeks and has dropped back a little bit since the kind of rebrand. So I'm not sure what Metrix are planning to do or kind of can do to improve things there. But we shall see over the next few weeks. Not long now till the end of the year, another 6 weeks, and we'll have our final figures for the year to date. But it's looking very good for Helix, not looking that great for any of the other coins at the moment. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. As always, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I always try and get back to them as soon as I can. I have been a little bit under the weather, so maybe I've been a little bit slack in replying to people, but I do try and get back to people as quickly as possible. The other thing is, I had a comment on my staking video yesterday asking me if there were any Masternodes I would recommend under the kind of $100 mark, and I have to say there's nothing I would necessarily recommend at the moment. The only, if you wanted to take a complete punt, you could buy, for example, say 3 Helix Masternodes. You could run those all on one VPS, probably like a $2 or $3 kind of VPS, which might make you some profits, but it's a real punt. I mean, it's such a low cap coin, anything could happen. But there is nothing really I would recommend in the Masternode space, certainly that kind of $100 mark. I think unless you're running, Dash Masternode, there might be some others. You've got maybe kind of BlockNet and a few kind of other, the kind of slightly large ones, maybe Pivx as well. I think there's very little value in these smaller cap coin Masternodes, unfortunately. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching as always, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.